Hi everyone, delonewolf here. Welcome back to some EVE Online. In today's video I'm doing a bit of exploration and I just found a 4 out of 10. Good time to start the video, but I also want to talk a little bit about a topic that I was thinking about after making the video on exploration in EVE Online and why I enjoy exploring in HiSec. And one of the things that should be noticed is that I say that it's a great ISK maker, and from the HiSec perspective it is, but it's also definitely true that there are far more efficient ways of making ISK in EVE Online than going the exploration route. And that's what I wanted to talk about a little bit, is the concept of efficiency when it comes to making ISK. It's definitely something that we all chase, and it's actually something that's fun as well. It's fun to try and find the most efficient way to run a certain activity in EVE Online to get into better ships and all that process. But at the same time, it's also something that you don't have to endlessly chase, because in my opinion there is a hard limit on that. That's number one. And number two, what's also very important is that due to the nature of the sandbox, there is this automatic balancing of activities that are too easy or far easier than everything else. And my go-to example for that would be the relic and the data sites in HiSec. They are so easy, so accessible, that basically no matter what CCP does to the drops from those sites, they will never be worth a damn. They're just too fast, too easy to run, risk-free, and you can run them in a frigate that costs maybe 100,000 ISK. You don't even need that many skills for them, and for that reason, anything that they add to the loot table there in order to try and maybe make it a bit more attractive is just going to end up with the same problem, that is going to be oversupplied by the players running these sites. And so one thing to keep in mind when it comes to efficiency, and when you hear these awesome numbers that you can make billions of ISK in nullsec or billions of ISK in wormhole space and in a low sec, is that there is this natural tendency for the sandbox to balance things out depending on effort, risk that is needed in order to successfully complete a certain activity. It's actually very important, and if you just mindlessly chase that efficiency, I think at some point you might end up regretting all the efforts that you put in there, because it's cool to go for efficiency, and it's definitely fun as well to try and become more and more efficient running the site like this here in the Cerberus. It's taken me some help from viewers, right? Some tips from viewers. It's taken skills, patience, finding the right fits, all of that good stuff. A very fun process, but the reason I'm still doing this in the Cerberus here in HiSec is because I enjoy that. And so if you think about efficiency in EVE Online, always make sure that you enjoy the activity itself that you're trying to become more efficient at. Don't do it just for the sake of making ISK. Always chase efficiency in order to have fun in the game of EVE Online. That's really, I think, an important message, because you can spend endless amounts of time and effort trying to become more efficient, but then even I make that mistake, because when you think about it, is that 4th or 5th drone damage amplifier in the low slot for the Ishtar, is that actually worth it? Well, no, probably not. Is an officer fit worth it on most ships? No, only for Titans, for really the biggest ships in the game, the most expensive stuff in the game, might that be a worthwhile investment. And so you could tune this this ship right here up to 11 as well, right? You could invest in far better faction fittings and officer fittings just to try and eke out a minute out of running this site. But is that worth it? In my opinion, it is not. There is a limit to trying to be more efficient, to trying to make more ISK in EVE Online as well, because at some point it just isn't worth it, to be honest. So yeah, always make sure to put fun before anything else when it comes to playing games, and that's the same for EVE Online. And on top of that, yeah, I have to say this again, keep in mind that we are talking about a sandbox, and that CCP and the game have this automatic balancing effect that if something becomes so ubiquitous, so easy to do, it is going to eventually rebalance itself in the economy itself. Because like I said, if all of a sudden ratting becomes too easy and it starts to make too much ISK, well, it's just going to inflate the prices of everything else. And in general, you know, any one activity isn't the best in EVE Online. The best activity in EVE Online is the one that you enjoy doing. And for me, something like this, Isaac exploration, is definitely a lot of fun. And as I'm destroying the final cruisers here, I have a chance in the next room to get a nice drop. So now I have the Skinner box effect, right? I can take the gamble in the next room with, is this 4 out of 10 going to give me a good drop or a bad drop? And I don't know. I'm putting this effort here. I'm putting these, what is it now, 6 minutes into this first room, probably a good 10 minutes in order to run this site. And then the reward for that is that I get to take a gamble on the faction spawn in the next room to see if it actually drops anything good. So let's see if I've been efficient with my time here or not. Let's kill the final few cruisers and then let's see if I get anything good out of this 4 out of 10. But for me, what's most important is I enjoy this. I enjoy scanning around the systems that I know close to my home base so that I could react to anything happening. If my brother comes online, wants to do something else, I can just fly 5 jumps back, get into another ship and do something together with him. And in the meantime, I'm having fun playing EVE Online, which to me is what this is all about. So that one blows up. We just have a Centum Torturer left. If you're curious about the fit, I'll show it right here, but I think I have it up in the bio as well. Oh, no, I don't have it up in the bio just yet. All right, so let me put that here. So that's the Cerberus as well. There you go. And this is my favorite ship for running combat sites in Sancha space, so against the Sancha pirates. That's the first room done. 7 minutes, as you can see, no big deal. We're cap stable for the rep, that's not a problem. And with the drones in, we're going into the second room, where I think we'll try a snipe. If you can actually get started. Yep, thank you. Must have misclicked something here. So the range on my missiles is 115 kilometers. We can get started right away on the true Sancha rat. One thing that I usually make a mistake here, and this is that search for efficiency. Trying to master the sites is very important. So first of all, you look for true Sancha in the list. Then as soon as you drop out of warp, you press approach. Like that. True Sancha, target him. But now, one thing that I used to do too early was I would press micro warp drive right away to get closer to him. And as a result, quite often the true Sancha would actually retreat back into that rock formation, which is something that you don't want, because then that could jeopardize your warp out. And at the moment, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, he's actually heading in a direction that is away from that rock formation, and so I have a better chance of grabbing that loot afterwards. So now he's at 40 kilometers. I'm also going to add the drone to the mix. I could probably do that right off the bat. You can see that he does rep a decent amount, but eventually the missiles and the drones are going to make up for that. We can start repping here as well. And now at 30 kilometers, when I'm close to ending his armor, that's when I'll burst my micro warp drive to try and get in on the wreck close enough. Or, I mean, we're slowly approaching this here. 27 kilometers, he's still in half armor, so we can take our time. And the big advantage also, these rats, they don't have a bigger target to shoot at, and the tanking is just slightly easier. So now that tank is slowly going to be breaking. None of my hobgoblins are being targeted, and he's nicely away from this rock formation. While we are at 19 kilometers away. At this point he might slowly start to retreat. Let's hope that we can volley down that armor. Yeah, now he's definitely in structure, but keeps on repping, keeps on trying. 17 kilometers. What you also don't want to do is overshoot, so at this point I am going to do my boost so that we can get in range as quickly as possible, without being too large a signature for too long either. And there we go, he blows up right on time. I can gamble for the loot. Come on, come on, come on. Tell my drones to come back here. Unfortunately, no drop here. Go to a planet. And we are getting out of here. So, was this efficient? Well, for me, this was fun. So, that's what this is all about. But unfortunately, the drop was not a good one. So, I'm going to go back out there, do a little bit more exploration in the region of the Void. To me, it's a lot of fun. And it's not always all about earning the ISK. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you all next time.